Alright, so we have this problem about this noisy squirrel. You're chucking your toenail clippers at him. For all these word problems, you basically just want to get some kind of quadratic you can solve, and we're going to end up using this quadratic formula right here to figure out what's going on. When you read the problem, you can see that the toenail clippers leave your hand 3 feet above the ground, so that will be our initial height. They leave 45 feet per second, so that will be our initial velocity. And the squirrel itself is 30 feet above the ground. So we want to figure out at what time the toenail clippers hit that 30 feet. So that's we want to know that time that's 30. So this 30 goes in for this h of t over here. So the quadratic I'll set up is, when is it going to be 30? If negative 16t squared plus that 45 feet per second plus that initial height. And now it's just a matter of solving it like you solve any quadratic. One side should be 0, so I'll start by subtracting 30 from both sides, giving me the problem negative 16t squared plus 45t minus 27 equals 0. So I see A equals negative 16, B equals 45, C equals negative 27, and we're going to use this to solve it. And like I always suggest, I want you guys to figure out this first. So I would square that B value. Well, I'm not going to square that one in my head. I'll get the calculator out and I'll figure out what, clear all this away. 45 squared minus 4. Oh dear, dear, dear. This is all wrong. 45 squared minus 4 times A times C equals this number 297. So this will be the number that goes in the square root of my problem. So I'll now take the opposite of B plus or minus the square root of that 297 all divided by 2 times A, which is negative 32. Because this is like a real world problem, we want a decimal answer, so I'll get the calculator out again and I'll enter this entire thing by putting parentheses around the whole numerator, negative 45 plus square root 297. In this calculator, I've got to close out the square root and then close out the numerator as well. You may not have to have so many parentheses. Let me know if you have problems. Dividing all that thing by negative 32 gives us this answer. That's 0.87 is one possible answer. But also, if I do the minus instead of the plus, I get an answer of 1.94. So which time is it? It doesn't hit the squirrel twice. It hits him one time. It says here it hits him on the way down. So apparently when you chucked these toenail clippers, they went up in the air. They started at 3 feet above the ground. They went up in the air. And at 0.87 seconds, they were 30 feet above the ground. They continued to go up. And then they started to come back down. And they hit the squirrel who was sitting over here at this later time. So the correct answer here is 1.94 seconds. If you think about it, if you can get your quadratic set up, and I think just keeping this 3 versus this 30 straight, what you started at versus what you ended up at, and get these in the right place, then they should be like every other problem on the test. So, good luck.